All right, we got to get into this. Brittney Griner. Now she's been sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison for drug smuggling, which it still irks me with that name, that title, drug smuggling, when it was really zero point 0.7 grams of CBD oil in a cartridge. It's not drug. It's not a huge. Anyways, in a statement, Griner's lawyer said the verdict, which is just below the maximum sentence of 10 years, is absolutely unreasonable, and they will certainly file an appeal. Now, shortly after the sentencing, President Joe Biden released this statement. Today, American citizen Brittney Griner received a prison sentence that is one more reminder of what the world already knew. Russia is wrongfully detaining Brittney. Biden continued, my administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every avenue to bring Brittney and Paul Whelan home as safely and as soon as possible. Are you surprised about this long sentence?
Well, you know what? Let's take this opportunity to introduce the third party to this trio, Mr. Al Reynolds, and we'll let Al go first.
Al, are you surprised about this sentence?
You know what? Yes, I'm so.
Where you been, Al? Where you been?
I don't know what happened. This Wi-Fi over here just shut down. It just shut down. I have no idea what happened. Yes, I'm very surprised about this sentence. And let me share. First of all, this is tragic. And at this point, what they're doing is becoming scary. And I feel for her. I feel for her wife. And let's not forget, Brittney has 2 kids. So I feel for the kids too. But let me tell you, it's the hypocrisy that really is pissing me off now, okay? We're talking about a country who's given a black female 9 years for having a cannabis cartridge. But at the same time, this is the same country whose own athletes are notorious for doping during the Olympics. Shall we bring up that they got stripped of 46 medals for the use of drugs, and they have the most competitors to be thrown out of the Olympics in the world, in the history of the Olympics. In fact, Claudia and Q, the last Olympics, they weren't even to join the Olympic in the stadium opening with the Russian flag because it was banned. They had to do it under General Olympics. That's number one. Number two is we are, as Americans, we've got to take some time. We've got to really pray for Brittney because Brittney is being moved from prison to what they call what is that? It's a colony.
It's a prison colony where they can, I've seen that.
Right. And that is what's really scary because it's a penal colony. That's right. Because we've read all about their penal colonies in the south side of Russia. People have been tortured in prison there. It's not a good situation. She doesn't know how to speak Russian. She's tall, she's 6'9", and she's a black female. So her health and her safety could be at jeopardy, right? And last thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly was I do want to applaud the Biden administration because if we really drill down on this, and Q, you mentioned this earlier, we have 20 other Americans there that she is being trumped and bringing her home faster. And that's amazing for a black female, for them to make an athlete, a black female, a priority. My hat goes off to the Biden administration. And not only are they doing it, but they are trading Brittney and another American for who's, quote, the merchant of death, which is an international arms dealer who is, NATO is not happy about that. So I do want to thank the Biden administration for that.
And you mentioned the drug thing with the Olympics, great point, which is kind of government sanctioned over it. It's almost like required. They make their athletes
right.
It ain't like the government looks down upon them doing doping. Russia's like, yes, give them steroids. That's my best accent I can do. Q, what you think about this story?
You know what? My question is, do you think Russia gave her this harsh sentence in order to be able to say, look, we would have gave her 10 years. Y'all lucky we didn't keep her, and to kind of justify the prison swap? Do you feel like that's why they went through with the whole sentencing thing? Because if we are still going to do the prison swap, which I'm under the assumption we are, then going through with this whole trial was just performative. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. True.
So part of me feels like they gave her the 10 years in order to be able to say, y'all ought to be lucky because we could have made her ass do 10 years. Now give us our man and we'll give you yours.
It actually makes it a little bit better for Biden because if he would have traded for this murderer, actually there's a second Russian prisoner that's in Germany that they want, right? Mm-hmm. If it's somewhat for Brittney getting a 1-year sentence, we could not do it. right?
Right.
It had to be something severe. So it almost helps in a way, I guess you'd say. Like with the optics, don't you think? With the optics of it all?
Right.
I feel like Russia said, listen, you're supplying arms to Ukraine. We are in war with Ukraine. There's a big conflict here. And they're like, okay, so I'm gonna throw the book at her. And unfortunately, I think what we should all wrap our head around is throughout this negotiation, she's not coming home anytime soon. And we just gotta be okay with that as long as the Biden administration is fighting to get her back.
And shame on the Americans that are celebrating, that are like, well, she got what she deserved. She should have complied. It's a lot of racist people online that are saying this, that are kind of celebrating it. It's really awful because she's still an American. And I need y'all to knock it off with that nonsense.